Well, welcome back to a second edition about love. Welcome to Breaking Barriers Through Constructive Dialogue. My name is Karen. I'm facilitating this talk today. I have with me today Gina, Gertie, and Tendai. Now, Tendai is our guest speaker today. Tendai, could you kindly introduce yourself?
First of all, thank you for inviting me to your platform. My name is Tendai. I'm a mental health professional, and I'm also the creator of Confidence Bloom. It's a platform that I created because I have first-hand experience of having self-doubt and social anxiety. And basically, it's just a platform that I created just to help other people to just bloom confidently. So what I do is just share some tips that I've used for myself, and I've created things like journals and other tools that just have helped me along my journey.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that introduction. Before we hear about Confidence Blue, I think obviously Confidence Blue has come out of something. And my understanding is that today you're going to talk to us about self-love in the form of
Mm.
fighting self-doubt. So could you kindly tell us about this amazing journey that you've been on? I mean, how it started and everything you'd like to tell us about it.
Okay, so my journey really, I will just go back to my childhood years, and that will just help you understand why I have started this journey. Over the years, I've grown up with a lot of self-doubt. I have never believed in myself. I've never had that confidence to do things. I've always felt that I couldn't achieve much in life. And growing up, I grew up in a space where at school I wasn't a high achiever. So I was sat at the back of a class in the last row and really demeaned as a child in front of my peers, which was really something that I just carried on into adulthood. So I felt I just didn't belong in friendship groups. I didn't feel that I could achieve. So if anything was put in front of me, I wouldn't go for it because I just thought, this is what defined me. You are the low achiever, you can't get far in life, and this is it. So I've just carried on with these things in life. It's just limited me. I was just in that, I just stayed safe. I just stayed in my own bubble where I felt it was safe from having any criticism, safe from, not achieving. So I just stayed in this space, didn't really believe in myself at all. And so I came to this space when then I just looked back and I could see that other people that I've gone to school with, other people my same age group are thriving, and I'm just remaining in just this limited space that I'd created for myself. And I'm just wondering why am I not getting as far as other people are getting? So that's when I just started to question myself and think, no, this can't be the life that I need to be living. And there should be more. That's when I started to just build on myself and try and break those limiting beliefs.
Okay, thank you for that. Um, what support system was around you during this time?
Support system, um, family were there. But again, it's not, I couldn't say they really understood what I was going through. It was difficult, I mean, to even share exactly, even if I was just seen as this quiet, shy person. That's my character, and that's Tendai, and that's how things should be. So it was difficult for anyone to support me because they didn't actually understand my journey, what was going on in my inner self. Although they were there, supporting me in other ways, but deep down, nobody really was there. It was a very lonely journey for me. Yeah, so really the support, yes, it was there to some extent, but not what I needed.
Ladies?
I can go. Is that all right, Gina, or did you? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, sounds like such a tough journey, isn't it? But thank you
Mm,
so much for that. By the way, I'm Gertie. I forgot to introduce myself. I also have a specialist sort of mental health background, and QI and mastered in healthcare leadership. So I wanted to kind of ask you because you and I have like a similar upbringing, isn't it? And we kind of
mm,
come from the same place in Zimbabwe. And I totally understand everything that you're saying. I can empathize and kind of really put myself in those shoes because I think we had similar experiences as well. In because you mentioned before that you felt that you never fitted in. I think you mentioned at
mm,
some point that you've never fitted in societal circles and always feeling like an
mm.
outsider and so forth. How do you think that's kind of impacted on your relationships with other people as an adult, in this world? Because it's not easy to make friends when you're older, isn't it? How do you think you've tried to navigate that as an adult?
Navigating, it's been a journey. Confidence is not it's not something that you're born with. It's something that you have to do something. You have to actively do something. So making friendships as you're older, yes, it is difficult. But what I found myself having to do is taking little steps, even approaching people. Because what I used to do, my younger self, what used to do, I used to wait for people to approach me. I wouldn't ordinarily go to someone and say hello or whatever. That's not me. But I've had to learn to just break those barriers, even if it was just to sit next to someone to start with, say something small like hello or compliment someone. So I would have tasks. This is one of the things that I'm creating tasks for myself. What is it that I can do to make friends? Where can I go? Recently, I went to a girls' trip. One of my friends invited me to a girls' trip where I didn't know any of these girls. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't go. My usual self would say that. But I said, no, I've got to break this barriers, go on that trip. And I did. And I made some amazing people, made some new friends. So it's just taking those risks. It's about taking risks. This is what I've started to do. And this is what I'm also teaching my children to just take those small risks just to get out of that comfort zone. And even if it feels uncomfortable, but the more and more I do these things, it starts to be normal. And, I even asked myself, why have I been holding myself back for this long?
Amazing.
Hi, Tendai. I'm Gina. Um, I am someone that can completely understand what you're saying, but I have both sides of the spectrum in the
Mm,
sense of that my confidence can sometimes be perceived as an inapt ability. I talk a lot. I'm quite a jovial person. I can be quite comical, I kind of just I don't want to say I saunter through life because I don't, but majority of the time I make light of situations. And I am
mm,
that person that will approach someone first. I am that person, for example, when you start a new job, and you sit in the room and they say, oh, we're going to do some role play, or I want everybody to introduce themselves. I'm going to go around the room. I learned going first takes the pressure off, because when you're last, everybody sits there and is looking at you. But when you're first, everyone's too busy engaged in their thoughts about what they're going to say. So I'll always nominate myself to do something first. But then on the flip side of that, I pour into everybody else and don't pour into myself. And
Yeah.
that's learned behavior. I'm still trying to work out how, oops, sorry. I'm still trying to work out how and where it started. I think I'm a little bit of the way there, but not completely. I think it comes from trying to um, get my mum to see me, but then I don't quite understand where the self-doubt comes from. I'm still trying to work on that. So you mentioned earlier that you have some tips and how you helped yourself. You know, when did you realize that you needed to change that, and because I think I probably need to dig a bit deeper within myself to understand where my self-doubt comes from. I know it has partly to do with being told that I can't do something,
Yeah.
but then I know in my mind that I can do it, but on paper I can't.
That's very interesting, Gina. That's absolutely interesting. I think the first part about you going first before everybody else takes the weight off you. It's something I actually taught myself to do, because what I used to do things the other way around. I used to wait for everybody to do it first. And when it comes to my turn, I might even back out of whatever it is that I have to do. So now when we're being asked to do things, I put myself first. We had to do a presentation the other day at work, something to do with work. And I actually said I wanted to go in the first group, because I knew if I went in the last group, I'll probably say I wouldn't do it. So that's what I've started to do for myself. So yeah. But in terms of your question, in terms of how I actually found out that, I needed to do something about it, I think from what I was explaining is how I felt that I've been limited in a lot of things that I could be doing. I kind of started to think, hey, there's something wrong here. And another thing was I could see that my children were mirroring the things that I've done in the past, and they were saying things to me that I would have told my old self, and that worried me. And I knew I had to do something for myself, for them, and for other people. Um, so that's how I kind of started to look back to think, okay, what is it? What is it that I've been told? So what I started to do is to write down things that I've been told, what I was believing at the time, and what can I say to myself? Like, for example, like, I can't do this. How can I, what can I do to make this thing happen? Instead of telling myself that I can't, I try to come up with a solution rather than just say I can't, and why not? Why can't I? You know. So it's just kind of self speaking to myself differently, not just, even though maybe you might come across as confident. Yes, people come up with, I was actually quite surprised that people can be, who are loud, who are out there speaking on platforms, are actually lacking confidence or have self-doubt. I was actually amazed by that, because I thought my personality is what would consider someone with self-doubt. But a lot of people need this work, need to be doing these things. So yeah, that's how I've found out about, what it is that's limiting me. I had to go back, really dig deep inside myself and really be honest with myself. to see what it is that has got me where I was and what it is that was stopping me from moving forward in life. I hope that answers the question.
Can I'll just quickly say something. I know Gina's touched on that as to how you got to where you are, which is great. But also, I just wanted to add in that I think it's probably made you lose a lot of obviously the confidence, the self-esteem, but then you lack that self-compassion, because you've been so hard on yourself for so many years, for several years. But it's time now to kind of take that hat on, wear it, with pride.
Yeah.
And like you say, guys, it's not about arrogance or being conceited. Confidence is not about that, and compassion is not about that. Compassion is about being intimate with yourself. And being intimate with yourself means getting to love yourself the same way you would want somebody else to love you, because you can be really biased about yourself. If somebody came to you expressing exactly what you've expressed tonight, what would your response be to them? So it would be very kind, kind words, really reassuring. And that's how you have to treat yourself moving forward. So I think you've done amazing, done a great job. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, kind of the name Confidence Bloom, I felt as if I was if you know those flowers that are closed and then suddenly they open up, you get, the sun came and you opened up. That's how, when I just came up with that name, I just said, this is, when I saw that name, I didn't come up with it. I was looking for a name, and this is what's really speak to me. I need to bloom. I need to open up. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for that comment.
Yeah, it's incredible. That's a fitting name, perfect name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very amazing insights there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Gertie, and thank you, Tendai. When you're speaking about confidence bloom, you actually seem to speak about it with so much confidence. Is it because it's something that you love so much that maybe even if you felt like, no, I don't want to go first, this is something you just easily open up to and speak up?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's something I'm really passionate about it. And I just feel this is a space, this is my time to shine, my time to help other people, which is, that is the mission, that is my ultimate goal, to take people along my journey. It's still a journey. I'm not saying those feelings still don't come back. They do. They're still there, but it's a journey that I'm working towards, and I want to take people along with me.
Yeah, we all go through a phase in life, be it younger or older, where we have self-doubt. And since we're all on this platform, I'd like to ask all of you that if you were to tell your younger self today, thinking back to your younger self and how you felt in retrospect, and thinking about yourself today, what would you be telling your younger self? I'll start with you, Tendai, and then we'll follow with Gertie and Gina. In a few words, what would you tell your younger self today with what you know? And then you have to go back in time and tell little Tendai, what would you say to her?
Okay, I would say to my younger self, um, safe. I've talked about being in a safe space, in a safe space. That safe space is not your safe space. The safe, you need to get out there, open up, speak up, go out in this world. It's not as scary as you think it is. There is no one is judging you. No one is whatever anyone says, whatever anyone says, that's not you. Get out of that world and just bloom.
Thank you. And Gertie.
Yeah, just quickly, I guess similar, isn't it? And I think I am in touch with my inner child a lot. And so I find a lot of healing from that, making sure, like you say, keeping her safe. So if she's safe, then I also feel safe within myself. and just learning that you are beautiful in the inside and you are unique in your own way, you know. So, and never let other people validate your feelings, you know, so never base how you feel on what other people's perception is about you. So it is a learning journey, yeah, for all of us, but looking after that little Gertie is is my motto. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for that. Gina?
I would tell little Gina to not be so hard on herself, to take life each day as it comes and within your stride. To have a relationship with herself first and foremost before any others. Don't value the relationships of friends and the need to have a lot of friends more than you need to be your own friend and to love yourself. Because I think that's where I kind of went wrong. The need to have lots of friends, the need to be the loyal friend, whereas I needed to be my friend. I needed to be kinder to myself. I needed to be that little girl that looked in the mirror and liked what she saw, rather than waiting for the outside world to validate me. I needed to learn to do that myself. And I think I would also say to myself that if I don't know how to do it, just look in the mirror and smile. Because I think when we're young, we don't know a lot and we don't know what we're going to expect tomorrow or the next day because we didn't prepare for the direction that life took us in. And finally, I would say just enjoy being you. Don't rush to be grown. Don't rush to be big. Don't rush to know it all. Just, you know, grow with the time rather than trying to be the best, trying to get ahead, trying to be at the top, trying to be at the front. Just stay in position until the time comes.
Well, thank you for that. Well, I think if there are any younger people out there listening to this, I think you kind of have an idea that whatever is happening to you right now is not the final destination. So take it easy on yourself, introspect. I think the more time you spend with yourself is probably the more time you get to know yourself and the more time you get to love yourself more. Spend that time mostly with yourself first. Then that way you get to really understand yourself before the world starts trying to tell you who you are, which in most cases is not what it is. So I think quite some very valuable things to take away there. I think as a closing remark, back to our speaker, the biggest question of all this is, how do you feel now? How, with everything that has happened, how do you feel generally?
I feel happy. I'm so happy that I am on this journey. I feel love for myself. I feel love for myself, which I've never felt before. I've never felt that I'm that person who belongs somewhere. And I just feel that this space is where I'm meant to be. So I feel that weight off my shoulder that finally I think I've landed where I need to be. So I'm very happy and feel so much love for me.
Thank you very much for that. We should have all the love sign. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, everybody. The link for all our guest speaker will be at the bottom of the page, and the link to our other facilitators on the call will be at the bottom of the page. We will see you next time when we speak about another interesting topic, which will center around International Women's Month, I suppose. I think the look I'm getting is that I'm not supposed to disclose what it is, so I won't. But next time, that's next week. We'll see you then. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.